Hi, I'm Michael from Kitchinsider. Welcome to the channel. In this video, I'm sharing some of my unpopular kitchen design opinions. Now, before we get started, this is just for a bit of fun. Please don't take this too seriously. First up, round sinks. You know, they still sell these. These are still a thing that you can buy. If it's a separate small prep sink or like a coffee station sink with a boiling water tap, you know, I get it. That makes sense, that's fine. I can understand that, sort of. But if it's your main sink, if it's your only sink, that's just not practical. Even if you can fit your biggest dinner plate in there, which you probably can't, you definitely won't be able to fit your fingers in there as well and wash it up properly. Then what happens if you've got a serving platter or a baking tray or anything else? None of that's gonna fit in a round sink. Personally, I don't love the look of them, but that's a personal thing, that's a style thing. You know, I'd almost be forgiven for that, right? But more than that, it's just the practicality and functionality or lack thereof. That's what makes the round sink a pet peeve for me. Cabinets or appliances in the side of a kitchen island. Okay, again, I understand why people might do this. If it's a space utilizing and optimizing design reason, I get it. You know, there's an empty void section in your kitchen island, and putting a slim wine cooler facing sort of sideways out fills in this void gap. You're trying to maximize that space. I get it, I've done it in the past myself. It doesn't mean I like the way it looks. If you've watched this channel at all, you'll know I'm a big fan of balance and symmetry, clean lines, and all of that stuff. And when you've got something that's just sticking out the side of a kitchen island, it really hurts my eyes. As I said, the wine cooler, it's the biggest culprit that I see. But even if it's just another cabinet, it never really blends in seamlessly with the rest of the island. You've always got this patchwork of end panels trying to cover up the gaps. It just never looks right to me. An island is an opportunity to be a real wow factor and focal point in a kitchen, as well as a really functional and useful zone. So make your island as neat and balanced as you possibly can. Please, do it for me. Next, I've got seating around an island that's in the kitchen. So, sticking with kitchen islands here, it's seating around a kitchen island, but some of these seats are in the actual main working kitchen area. This isn't functional or practical in any way. Even if there's no one actually sat there, those stools are still going to be in the way and limiting that space. And if those seats are actually in use, if there's somebody sitting there, it's so impractical for anyone working in the kitchen. Not only does it block that walkway and work area, it's going to limit opening your doors and drawers, things like that. I think it's just a bad user experience. Maybe these seats are only used when nobody else needs or wants to be using the kitchen. How badly do you need that extra seat or two that you're going to compromise the functionality of your kitchen? Have some more seats along the back of the island, or create some L-shaped seating to get some more stools in, create a dining area off the back of the island, or just get a dining room table. Whatever you need to do, just don't put stools sticking into the actual kitchen area. Come on. Next up, don't hate me, glossy wooden cabinets. I feel like this is the one that might upset people, and I'm sorry if it upsets you. It's just a personal thing. I'm not a huge fan of anything super glossy or lacquered, whatever you want to call it. I just prefer softer, sort of matte or textured finishes. That's just me. And I don't mind a glossy cabinet door if it's a slab finish and a coloured door. If you like it, great, go for it. I'm all for that. However, I think it's when it's a wooden finish, you know, a fake wooden finish that's then lacquered and made glossy, that's when it really bugs me. Especially if it's a veneer, or heaven forbid, an actual wooden door that's then lacquered and all made glossy. That's when it really bugs me. Why cover up that natural material and texture with just a flat, glossy, lacquered surface? It just makes what's probably already a fake wooden finish look even more fake and unnatural. I mean, you don't get glossy trees in nature. Yes, a glossy finish on a cabinet can help to protect it and make it easier to clean and wipe down. That's great. Just don't make wooden finishes high gloss and plastic looking. I mean, admittedly, I don't see it as much these days, so I mean, hopefully it's gone away. Do people still do this? And lastly, a range cooker in an island. Another kitchen island related pet peeve is when I see a range cooker or a full stove that's set in a kitchen island. Don't get me wrong, I'm a big fan of having a hob or your cooktop on a kitchen island. I think in the right circumstance and layout, It can be a really sociable cooking experience. However, not when it's a range cooker in the island. Again, I think it comes down to that idea of balance for me. I think having a large range cooker can dominate the look of a kitchen island, and it will break up that run of cabinets, that view on one side. But the bit that really gets me is this chunk that you're going to have to just cut out of your countertop. I just think it looks odd. And a lot of times the range cooker isn't set flush with the countertop, so it might be sticking up proud a little bit or underneath a little bit, and you've got this gap, as well as a gap around the cooker itself as well. Call me old-fashioned, but I just think range cookers need to go up against a wall for practical reasons, but also to make the most of them in terms of a focal point. They can be beautiful looking appliances that you can really enhance by framing them or having a featured cooker hood, a beautiful backsplash, and you just lose all of that impact if you just stick them awkwardly in a kitchen island. And if it's in an island and not even dead center of that island, if it's off to one side at all and not balanced, don't even show it to me. So there you go, some of my unpopular kitchen design opinions. As I said, obviously this is just a bit of fun. Don't take any of this too seriously. We're on YouTube here. If you like any of these things or have any of them in your kitchen and they work for you, that's great. If you enjoyed this video and fancy another little laugh, then I'm sure you'll like my previous Pet Peeves video as well. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.